Hello traders, this is going to be a completely different video than anything I've ever done before, but I think that it is going to be very, very helpful for many of you guys to watch. Let's dive in. So before we talk about it, let me talk about a recent trade I took actually yesterday. It did not go well. I was in a losing trade and I foolishly thought, oh, if I can just picture the market going higher, picture a 1 minute candle just going ripping a lot higher, then of course the market will. That is not how markets work, as you should know by this point, because no amount of positive thinking is going to make the market move higher or lower. That's just not the way that things work. Now, that being said, visualizing over things that you can control is a way you can provide a great boost to your trading. And throughout this video, I'm going to teach you guys and show you guys some of the techniques that I use to visualize certain things that you can control in trading and perhaps in life, and how that can actually help you in any area of your life. So we'll be talking about that. The first thing that I want to talk about with visualization manifestation is, yes, a lot of it is BS. A lot of it completely is BS. And if you don't know about these topics that I'm talking about, go search it and you'll find out. Basically, I like to think about visualization, manifestation, law of attraction when it comes to anything in life, really in two different categories. You have the way where, let's say you're about to give a public speech, and you visualize that public speech going very, very well. That actually does have a very strong impact on how the speech will probably go. Why? Well, if you can seriously visualize yourself giving a killer public speech, the emotions that you're going to be feeling are probably going to be quite positive, because your brain does not know the difference between reality and imagined thought. That's why anxiety can just rip us apart, because our brain doesn't know the difference. We have evolved that way. Now, if you imagine that public speech going so well and you're just flooded with dopamine and endorphins, you're probably going to be happier, more confident, and just things are just going to flow better. However, let's say you're in the forest and you're looking at some tree, like maybe the tree behind me, like that guy right there, that tree in the wallpaper, and you're like, I can focus on making that tree branch fall if I manifest it hard enough, but just stand still and don't exert any pressure on the tree. That tree is not going to just fall. No branch is going to fall from it because you're imagining it or trying to visualize it. Why? Well, when you visualize, when you manifest, and I hate to use those words even, trust me, because I do think a lot of it's BS. When you try to do that, you need to do it only on things that you can control and that come from you. If you are not exerting pressure on something, then you cannot manifest that. That's just not how life will work. Now, here are some things that you can visualize and that you can manifest in trading. Let's start with the negative. Really weird line to throw out there, but visualize your stop loss getting hit and you being absolutely fine. You just entered a trade and you have a stop loss that is 2% lower and a take profit that is 2% higher, and you're not using leverage. So your capital will either grow by 2% or it will diminish by 2%. Visualize your stop loss getting hit and you closing your computer, walking away completely fine. This kind of mental rehearsal of a negative event is a really good thing to do. The reason why is if you don't do this and just are like, oh my God, please stop loss don't get hit, stop loss don't get hit, that antsiness is probably gonna A, make you do something, like adding more risk or deleting your stop loss, which isn't great, or B, is gonna make you try to revenge trade once your stop loss is hit, or C, you're just gonna be very unhappy after your stop loss is getting hit, or you've been liquidated or whatever, or you take a losing trade. But if you mentally rehearse what it's like to get your stop loss hit and to lose money, and you being absolutely okay, I think that really what you're doing is you're doing a mental kind of rehearsal for a negative event that's going to make you much more resilient when that event actually occurs. Next thing, visualize what if scenarios and what you would do to safely manage risk. So let's say that we have an in-between scenario where your stop loss hasn't been hit, but price has moved against you. Let's say you went long, price is down. You're in an unprofitable position. Visualize yourself not adding to that position if you don't want to, and being absolutely okay with anything that happens in between the market, either hitting your stop loss or your take profit. Visualize these what if scenarios. What if price rips up? Then I will do this, which is either price rips up this amount, I will either take profit, guaranteed, or I will do absolutely nothing and just wait for my take profit to be hit. Visualizing these what if scenarios is going to also make you feel a lot more comfortable, because then you're going to be prepared for anything. What if price rips down 3%? Whether my stop loss gets hit, and I've already visualized being absolutely fine when my stop loss gets hit. What if price goes down 1.8% and I'm only 0.2% away from my stop loss getting hit? Well, I've already mentally rehearsed that what if scenario, and I know that I won't do anything. I'll wait for my stop loss to get hit. And if it doesn't, then amazing. I've been saved by a 0.2% move. These kinds of mental rehearsals are going to prepare you for the negative part of trading, and it's going to make you a lot more resilient. That's something that I've begun to do, and what I've found is that it makes the whole trading experience so much smoother, and I honestly cannot, if there's anything to take from this is probably the best part, even though that sounds kind of weird. The negative visualization does help a lot. Now, a part of you might be saying, well, if we visualize negative events, doesn't that attract negative events? Not exactly, because you're visualizing something that you do not have control over. You don't have control over whether the market is going to hit the stop loss that you have put. You do not have any control on where the market goes. So what you're doing is a mental rehearsal to deal with negativity, not trying to visualize the negative event itself. Now, how to use positive visualization to help with trading. This is the part that a lot of people probably came for. Visualize yourself either making money or becoming stronger. What I mean by this, guys, is when a trade ends, you either will lose money or make money, or you'll be break even, but we're not going to talk about that. Let's say your take profit gets hit. You're richer now. You might be richer by $2 or $20,000, but you're richer. You've made money. You should be happy. Now, let's say your stop loss gets hit and you lose 7% of all of your capital, and you're like, oh my God, this is really bad. Well, you're becoming stronger, because each hit that you take, from the market, each hit that you take, it's going to make you stronger. And that's not just a cliche. It is the truth, because I've been there. I've gotten hit by the market very hard, many times, and I've done very well in the markets many times. And because of that, I've gotten more resilient to handling the negativity from markets where the negative infliction of pain on me, that I feel that emotion, doesn't hit me as hard anymore, because I'm used to it. And that kind of stronger, visualizing yourself becoming stronger after each negative trade is a great way to actually become stronger. And that goes back to mental rehearsal. Now, this one's a little bit more just fun, but visualize what it will look like when you just completely immerse yourself in trading. What I mean by this is the flow state. Basically, visualize yourself really just giving everything you have to studying the markets. What I mean by this is you can even do a quick mini movie in your brain where you're basically visualizing yourself, let's say at your computer desk, and you're practicing trading, and then you're demo trading, and then you're studying videos, perhaps mine, hopefully, reading books, perhaps mine, hopefully, talking to people, potentially me. Okay, enough about me. And through doing this, through completely immersing yourself in trading, this is really where I think the best results are going to come from. The best results are not going to come from you manifesting or visualizing some positive outcome and you get into that positive outcome. The best results are going to happen when you visualize yourself practicing and putting in the work, putting in the effort, and completely immersing yourself in trading. And when you do that, then you're going to begin to fall in love with the process, which is going to make you want to practice and study, which is going to obviously make you a much better trader. Okay, these 3 habits, I'm not asking a lot, but you got to do them. If you want to be a successful trader, you don't have a choice. These 3 absolutely necessary. At least do 2 of 3. Now, you don't have to use ambient music, but I love doing this so much before trading, before any stressful event, any time in my life. 1-minute meditation. All that I ask is that you just close your eyes, you go somewhere comfortable, alone, and you just sit down and you just play at least 1 minute of the music I'm going to post in the description below. At least 1 minute of just letting your mind wander. It's okay to have your mind just wander all over the place. Just slow breathing and just let your mind wander for at least 1 minute. It's going to cause you to really slow down. And that slowing down is going to very much likely make you better decisions when it comes to markets. 1 minute visualization of yourself as a successful trader. Now, again, we don't want to visualize or manifest money like, oh, I will make $1 million by tomorrow. Don't do that. That's not what I do. What you want to do is visualize what it would look like for your ideal successful trader life, whatever that is. And I can give you guys a quick example of that. A few years ago, when I was in college, I said to myself, I want to travel and trade the world. And I'm actually doing that right now because I live in Europe now. I don't want to give like too much away because, safety reasons, but I'm traveling the world right now and I'm trading. So I have never been happier in my life. I've done exactly what I visualized or manifested, I guess, because I set out that goal as my intention. Then I worked every single day, keeping that thought in mind to get closer and closer to that as my intention. And that's what you should be doing too. Whatever it looks like for you as a successful trader, is that traveling the world on your laptop and trading and making money and doing lots of fun things? Is it you staying up late and studying the markets? Is it you trading with a group? Whatever it is, just spend 1 minute. Again, you can do this to the ambient music of just quieting your mind or just letting it wander a little bit. But this time, focus on yourself. Focus on what it would look like if you were a very successful trader. Whatever feels best to you is probably the thing that you should visualize. Exercise breaks. Do not just stare at the markets for hours upon hours. You've got to take breaks. This is something that is very necessary and something you do not want to neglect really in any part of life. Go for a walk. If you think you've just like staring at markets or been scalping markets too long, outdoors is like 20 seconds away or less, depending on where you live. Go for a walk, do some push-ups, run in place, do something, just get something to get the blood pumping and get something to get some exercise in. And honestly, this is something that's necessary no matter who you are in life. So this has been, again, a very different video, even like borderline on spiritual video, but it's a video I had to make because it's something that I find very interesting. And I know it's not like, oh, follow this strategy and this, and it's something a little bit more, I don't know, authentic of mine, just because this is something I just came up with and I thought it would help a lot of people. But I do want your guys' feedback because I am not a guru. I do not know everything that there is about visualization and manifestation. All I do know is what has helped me and what has led me to this point. And I want to help you guys do the same. And that's the whole reason why I started this channel, is to basically empower you to trade better and to beat the institutions. That's the reason why I started the Bitcoin Trading Challenge. Even though it seems kind of strange that I'm giving away a lot of free knowledge just on whatever I find is most profitable, but it is what I do. And I think that this kind of knowledge is a little bit more abstract, but something that could even be more powerful than any strategy, technical strategy that you can think of. Because working on yourself, of course, is always going to have the greatest return, no matter what amount of money is involved in that. All right, this has been some esoteric spiritual time, but I've loved it. I hope this helped, and definitely follow some of the things that I've talked about here because I think that it will cause improvement in your life and in your trading. Happy trading, and I'll see you guys in the next one.